After many months of waiting, SCR version 2.3 has finally been released. This update brings a huge number of new features and upgrades. We're going to cover everything in this video. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SCR version 2.3.
Spad alert.
Let's start with the train power. There are three power sources: electric, diesel, and battery. When spawning a train, you must now power it up using the appropriate power source in order to accelerate. If you are driving a bi-mode or tri-mode unit, you can have more than one power source available. Power changeover signs have been added in various locations, allowing you to switch to a different power source depending on your train and your route. For example, if you are driving the Class 398 and see this sign, you should prepare to change your power source to battery. Let's explore the three power sources, starting with electric. Electric trains now have functional pantographs, one of the most awaited features in the game. You can raise or lower the pantograph by holding the pantograph button or by holding P on your keyboard. You can only raise the pantograph in electrified areas, specifically where overhead wires are present. With this feature, overhead line equipment signs have been added in various locations. This is called raise pantograph. When passing this sign, you should raise your pantograph. This is called lower pantograph. When passing this sign, you should lower your pantograph and switch to another power source. To make things faster, you can directly switch to another power source, which will automatically lower the pantograph. If you keep the pantograph raised while leaving the overhead line section, an emergency brake will be applied and an alarm will sound. Diesel power source is used for diesel-only trains, as well as bi-mode and tri-mode units operating in unelectrified areas, especially on diesel-only routes. You can turn the diesel engine on or off by holding the engine operation button or by holding E on your keyboard. You can generally keep this power source active and access most routes without issues, but you can still switch to another available power source as indicated by the signage. Battery is a limited power source used on certain train types in unelectrified areas. If you are driving a train equipped with a battery, the UI will display the battery level indicator, which shows how much battery is available. You can turn the battery on or off by holding the battery operation button or by holding B on your keyboard. The battery level indicator will gradually decrease while using this power source and accelerating the train. If you switch to a different power source, the battery will slowly recharge. If the battery runs out, the power will cut off and you won't be able to accelerate. You will need to switch to another available power source to continue, otherwise you will be despawned by the system. Overall, this is a feature the community has been waiting for many years, and it has finally become a reality. This is easily one of the best and most immersive features SCR has ever implemented. Now, we actually have to pay attention to when to switch power sources while driving, making the game feel much more realistic and engaging. And honestly, it's just amazing to finally have this in the game. Now let's move on to a new feature. Platform prediction is a feature where trains are now scheduled or allocated to specific platforms when you spawn or begin a route. You can view your assigned platforms by opening your schedule. Station boards now display train platforms in advance of their arrival. Platform boards can also show multiple trains assigned to the same platform. If a train's allocated platform changes to another at the station, an alteration announcement will play.
This is a platform alteration. The 1309 service from Beechley will now arrive on Platform 2.
Honestly, platform prediction is one of the nicest features as well. It makes the game feel more realistic and organized, and it really helps players know exactly where they are supposed to go without guessing. Although signalers aren't able to allocate trains to specific platforms, they are able to see which platform they are assigned to, which makes it easier for them to know which track to go to. So it's definitely a big step forward and a feature I'm really glad they added. TRTS boxes are now fully functional on platforms across most stations, replacing the old method of sending TRTS through the UI. Instead of pressing a button on the screen, you now interact with the physical TRTS box on the platform. At most platforms, these boxes are located at the middle of the platform, while at terminating platforms, they are usually closer to the buffer. To send TRTS, stand next to the correct TRTS box and open it by pressing the Q key. Hold the same key to press the TRTS button inside. If you don't press the button within 10 seconds, the box will close and you will need to reopen it. The button flashes yellow once TRTS is successfully sent. You can TRTS a train up to 30 seconds before it's ready to depart. Once TRTS is sent, move to the proper dispatching location, and when the train is ready, the TRTS box marker will turn pink. Make sure you are using the correct TRTS box for the platform you're dispatching. Using a different box will automatically switch your selection to that platform's train. Platforms without junctions ahead don't have TRTS boxes, meaning TRTS will be sent automatically, letting you move directly to the dispatching position. Some stations may have manual TRTS on certain platforms, but not others, so always check the UI to confirm if manual TRTS is required. Overall, this feature adds a new level of realism to dispatching in SCR, making the whole process feel more interactive. There are 4 brand new metro stations in this update. The first being Cadoxton, a new extension from Beechley. This is a small and simple station, which makes sense for a single platform metro station. Additionally, you can use the overpass to cross or access the station from this area. The station is similar to Benton Bridge on the Berrily Bay Branch, but the surrounding scenery is much more detailed and well done. Stepford Bay is the terminus station where the extension ends. It has 2 platforms. Once again, the station is simple, including its entrance. I really like the greenery in the middle of the island platform, especially with the beautiful scenery surrounding the station. It's honestly a nice place to just chill. Let's take a look at the Stepford Bay office building. The architecture of the building itself looks amazing, and I also really like the SCR logo inside the entrance. This is the first room after entering the building. Here are more rooms on the right side. On the left side, there's another SCR logo, along with the supervisor office, filled with lots of desks. Interestingly, if you enter the office and look at the sticky notes, it says 84.52 million seconds before version 2.4, which is equivalent to 2.68 years. What? Anyway, let's move on to the second floor of the building. The first room is identical to the one on the first floor. Here are more rooms on the right side, along with the management, development, and directorate offices. Now that we're done with this building, let's move on to the next station. Denton Road is a new station that is part of the new tram-train line, exclusively for the Class 398, running from Berrily to Whitney Green. It is located just above the main line between Berrily and Greenslade. This station was previously known as Berrily Denton Road under Tramlink until it was scrapped and removed in version 1.7. And now it has returned as Denton Road under Metro. Since this is a tram station, It doesn't need to be overly detailed, but it still fits the environment well. The scenery around it is quite dense, but it's filled with greenery at the same time. Robinson Way is a reopened station that is also part of the new tram-train line. It is located between Greenslade and Whitney Green. This station was also abandoned when the original tram-link plans were scrapped, but it has now returned under Metro. The design is identical to Denton Road, since this is also a tram station. The scenery around the station looks fine, but the scenery between Robinson Way and Whitney Green looks amazing. The new overhead wire gantry design looks great as well. The line above is the existing waterline route between Whitney Green and Greenslade. Now on to upgraded stations, starting with Beechley. This station now has a really nice looking entrance, with large windows on the right side. I really like the concourse area. It features a big welcome wall, and the overall design with the flooring, advertisements, and access to platforms looks great. Access to Platform 5 has a unique design and staircase that really stands out compared to the others. Overall, I really like the platform area and the station as a whole, especially since this station had never been upgraded since it was added back in version 1.6. It's great to finally see it get the upgrade it deserves. Berrily has been upgraded with 2 additional platforms specifically for the tram-train line. This is the entrance to the main concourse with a stair to the ticket office, and the view looks great from here. There is also another entrance on the opposite side. As usual, the station itself looks great, with new canopies, a waiting room, and improved scenery around the area. I'm really glad to see the station upgraded, especially with the addition of the tram-train line. Greenslade has been upgraded, not only the water line being served, but also metro services. The entrance looks okay, but the scenery around here is nice as well. You can also cross to the other side of the station, but it kinda looks empty. There's only one stair access, but it should let you access to all platforms. Each side of the station has bay platforms, one for Waterline and one for Metro. The station looks okay, with new canopies, waiting rooms, and the structure itself. They could have taken inspirations from the previous Greenslade design and scenery, but I still appreciate the upgrade of the current station. Speaking of old Greenslade, it remains standing on the main menu in training servers, which now kinda acts like as a memory for the previous structure. Whitney Green has been upgraded, not only with improved waterline platforms, but also with 2 additional platforms for Metro, where the tram-train line terminates. The Metro platforms are quite similar to the 3 identical tram stations, but this time they use an island platform layout, which I really like. Heading uphill takes you to the existing waterline platforms, which have also been upgraded. To reach the other platform, you can use the underpass. This station truly deserves an upgrade, as it hasn't been updated since version 1.0, so this is a major improvement for Whitney Green. Benton Bridge might just be one of the most impressive upgrades yet. The station now features a massive main entrance, along with another entrance on the opposite side. As you enter the concourse, you can enjoy the surrounding scenery, including the bridge structure itself, which has also been upgraded. From the concourse, you can access 2 island platforms on either side. The platform area looks incredible and highly detailed. It feels much more alive and spacious now. They have done a fantastic job upgrading the station. Morganstown has been upgraded, although some players may see it as a downgrade. The entrance looks fine, but it is noticeably smaller compared to the previous version. The concourse is now more compact, and instead of stairs, there are 2 ramps leading to the platforms. While this improves accessibility, it can take longer for dispatchers to move between platforms. The platform area looks very similar to West Wyvern, and honestly, I'm not fully convinced by this rebuild compared to the old Morganstown design. However, it was probably done to support Connect services, which can now run through Morganstown, while also allowing the junctions between Morganstown, Airport Parkway, and Hampton Hargate to be overhauled. The station includes the lounge, but unlike other lounges, the piano is missing. Hampton Hargate has been upgraded, and it is easily the best station upgrade in the entire update. I honestly cannot explain how amazing this transformation is, from being the most hated station to potentially the most loved. This is exactly what the community has been wanting. There are 4 entrances to this station: the main entrance, a second entrance at the car park, a third at the bus station, and a fourth at the road bridge. Everything around the station has been beautifully redesigned, including the concourse, platform areas, and overall structures. You can also go up to the rooftop of the car park and enjoy the view of the new scenery, which is easily one of the best scenery upgrades in this update. Here are stations that have received improvements. Bowden has received minor improvements, particularly on the side of Platform 1, where the new Bowden Metro Operations Center depot is located. The platform ends also appear to have been extended to accommodate longer connect trains. Morganstown Docks has received improvements, particularly at the entrance. While the platform area itself mostly remains the same, the scenery around the station looks so much better now, especially the bridge between the station and Morganstown, which no longer looks like a spaghetti. Starlock has received improvements, including the overpass and the scenery around here. Lastly, Upper Stapleton has received improvements, including the level crossing and the curve between the station and Hampton Hargate, which is now smoother instead of having a steep curve. Depots and sidings have received additions, upgrades, and renames to better reflect the areas they are located in. Marston Hill Train Maintenance Depot is a new Metro exclusive depot located near Beechley. The depot itself is simple, but it's really nice to have a dedicated depot just for Metro. Bowden Depot is another new Metro exclusive depot located right beside Bowden Station, which was shown earlier. It's essentially the same concept as the previous depot. Airport Parkway Depot and Sidings, now renamed to Stoke Milton Carriage Sidings, has been upgraded. There are 4 different spawn locations, each leading to nearby stations such as Morganstown, Hampton Hargate, Airport Parkway, and Benton Bridge. Beechley Sidings, one of the most commonly used sidings for new players, is now called Beechley Kingsway Carriage Sidings. It has received improvements, particularly to the walkway. Only connect trains can spawn here once again. Here are all the depots and sidings that have been renamed. Willowfield Depot is now called Willowfield CS. A new Metro depot near Beechley is called Marston Hill TMD. Beechley Siding is now called Beechley Kingsway CS. Stepford Depot is now called Trinity Way TMD. Woodhead Lane TMD is now called Market Wayton TMD. Whitefield Siding is now called Whitefield Farm Park CS. A new Metro depot next to Bowden is called Bowden Depot. Coxley Sidings are now called Coxley Station CS. Berrily Depot is now called Mania Hill TMD. Benton TMD is now called Harbour City TMD. Benton Siding is now called Benton Station CS. Faraday Road TMD is now called Meriden Grove TMD. Leary Siding is now called Elmstead Park CS. Whitney Green Depot is now called Holbeck TMD. Airport Parkway TMD and Sidings are now called Stoke Milton CS. Faraday TMD is now called Melrose Depot. Esterfield TMD remains the same. Leighton Depot is now called Winstree Lane TMD. Famer Green TMD remains the same. And lastly, North Shore Depot is now called Lyra TMD. Six new trains have been added to the game. The Class 398 is a brand new Metro tram train. It is formed of 3 coaches, while the double unit variant is formed of 6 coaches. It has a maximum speed of 62 miles per hour, which may sound odd at first, but this is equivalent to 100 kilometers per hour. It costs 3,000 points, making it the most expensive train on Metro. And the double unit variant costs an additional 800 points. It can be powered by both pantograph and battery.
This thing.
This train looks incredibly good and unique, especially since it is the first tram ever added to SCR. One thing I really like is the large windows, which allow passengers to fully enjoy the scenery. On top of that, the cab view is amazing. The windshield is wide enough to give drivers a clear and immersive view. It is also the first train to switch its horn to a bell, and vice versa, when transitioning between mainline and tram exclusive sections, which is a really nice detail. The Class 91 is a new express train. There are two variants available, one formed of 7 coaches and another formed of 9 coaches, making it a total of 9 car and 11 car formations when you include the 2 driving van trailers or DVTs. It has a maximum speed of 125 miles per hour. This train can be owned by players who have the longer train's game pass. This train is also powered by pantograph.
This station is...
We didn't really expect the Class 91 to be added, especially since it never appeared in any sneak peeks and was only revealed in the final trailer for version 2.3. The train itself looks great and it's highly detailed as always. The Class 700 is a connect train that was removed in version 1.0 and later replaced by the Class 707. It is formed of 8 coaches and has a maximum speed of 100 miles per hour. This train can be owned by players who have both the longer train's game pass and the Class 707. It is an electric multiple unit powered by pantograph. Interestingly, if you visit its grave at the cemetery near West Wyvern, you'll find that it has been dug up. 4 existing connect trains have received new double unit variants. These can be unlocked by owning the corresponding single unit versions and also the longer train's game pass. These are the Class 350/1 double, formed of 8 coaches, the Class 185 double, formed of 6 coaches, the Class 385/0 double, formed of 6 coaches, and the Class 385/1 double, formed of 8 coaches. Some connect trains now have semi-fast routes where they can go through fast tracks in various areas and skip some connect stations. Here are new semi-fast routes for connect: Stepford Central to Lynn by the Sea, Stepford Central to West Wyvern, Stepford Central to Berrily Bay, Stepford Central to Leighton West, Stepford Airport Central to West Wyvern, and Stepford Airport Central to Leighton West. These routes are exclusive to all variants of classes 185, 350, 380, 385, 68, and 700. With the introduction of 2 new metro extensions, several new routes have been added. These are exclusive to the Class 398 unless stated otherwise. Greenslade to Stepford Bay via Elsemere Junction, Beechley to Stepford Bay, also exclusive to the Class 756, Willowfield to Stepford Bay, also exclusive to the Class 756, Stepford Bay to Whitney Green via Barton, Stepford Central to Whitney Green via Elsemere Junction, and Stepford Victoria to Greenslade via Barton. A new Airlink shuttle route has been added between Hampton Hargate and Airport Terminal 2. Here are the remaining route changes included in this update. 6 routes have had their experience restrictions removed, 3 routes have been redirected to run via Barton, 2 routes have had their experience restrictions reduced, 2 routes are now semi-fast services and use the fast line between Benton and Hampton Hargate, 2 routes now additionally call at Hampton Hargate, 2 routes now call at Hampton Hargate instead of Morganstown, 2 routes have changed to a 9 head code, this route has changed to a 2 head code, this route no longer calls at Morganstown docks, and this route has been extended to Morganstown. Tram signals are a type of signal used exclusively on tram lines. They can be paired with normal road signals, also known as traffic lights, but you should always follow the tram signals instead. Tram signals only have 2 aspects: proceed and danger. There is also a route indicator displayed above the signal, which functions similarly to feather signals. This shows which direction your train will be routed. One issue is that tram signals can be difficult to see from a distance, so you'll need to pay close attention to both the signal aspect and its distance shown in the UI. Another thing I don't like is guarding at tram stations. While these stations are not dispatchable, guarding can still be challenging because you will need to move forward just to check whether the tram signal ahead is clear. You could ask an active signaler or your driver, but due to Roblox chat restrictions, this isn't always possible. Overall, I like tram signals as a feature for exclusive tram lines. They make the system feel more unique from the mainline network. This is the new Berrily Rail Operations Center, where signalers can control Zone 3. As you enter the building, you'll notice that half of the interior is oddly empty. However, once you head upstairs, you'll find seating areas, 2 supervisor desks, the Zone 3 desk which will be shown later, additional seats, and office desks. One nice touch is the view. You get a nice look over the nearby junctions, passing trains, and the station itself. This is the new Hampton Hargate Signalling Center, where signalers can control Zone 6. As you enter, you'll find sitting areas and office desks with small windows beside them, allowing you to enjoy the view of passing trains. Heading upstairs, you'll find a supervisor desk and the Zone 6 desk, which we'll take a closer look at shortly. Here are signaling changes in this update. There are 10 total zones with zone borders, signal numbers, and desk locations being overhauled. Additionally, zone names are now numbered instead of letters, and any pedestrian role can now spawn at signaling spawn locations. Also, Stepford High Street and Berrily Bay signaling desks have been removed, but the supervisor desk in Stepford High Street still remains. Zone 1 now only covers Willowfield to Stepford Victoria, including City Hospital and the Stepford Bay Branch. Zone 2 now covers Stepford Central to Whitefield, including the Metro Core section. Both zones are located at Stepford Central. Zone 3 covers St. Helens Bridge to Coxley or East Berrily, as well as Denton Road to Whitney Green, platforms 3 and 4. This zone is located at Berrily. Zone 4 now only covers Newry Harbour to West Benton, while Zone 5 now only covers the area around Benton, Port Benton, and the Connolly Branch. Both zones are located at Benton. Zone 6 covers Morganstown Docks to Whitney Green, platforms 1 and 2, as well as Benton Bridge or Bewley Park to Upper Stapleau. This zone is located at Hampton Hargate. Zone 7 covers all airport stations except Airport West, while Zone 8 covers Airport West to Estherfield. Both zones are located at Airport Central. Zone 9 now covers Water Newton to Millcastle Racecourse, including the Leighton West and Berrily Bay branches. Zone 10 now only covers Millcastle to Lynn by the Sea. Both zones are located at Lynn by the Sea. There are a lot of scenery upgrades in this update, but don't worry, I'll show you multiple time-lapse and vice versa to cover all the new scenery. Let's start with the Stepford Bay Branch, which runs between Beechley and Stepford Bay. As we depart from Beechley, the train navigates a new single-track section. Don't forget to switch your power source to the battery before entering this section. Next, we pass a new fencing area just before the branch splits from the Stepford Victoria line. The track then divides into 2 for opposite directions before arriving at the new Cadoxton station. After departing Cadoxton, we soon arrive at Stepford Bay, where you can enjoy the beautiful scenery along the branch. Heading back toward Beechley. After departing Stepford Bay, we travel straight to Cadoxton again. The track splits to allow a train going in the opposite direction to pass. Finally, we run alongside the Stepford Victoria branch, and as you approach the merge back into the main line, you can raise your pantograph before arriving safely at Beechley. Here we're driving from Barton to Whitney Green, mostly covering the tram line. As we depart from Barton, the junction to the left, which used to be a dead end, is now open. It leads outside the tunnel shortly before arriving at Berrily. This time we take the new tram-train line, heading onto the leftmost track. Once we enter the tram line, the track can run on concrete, roads, and even grass, a unique experience for this route. After departing Berrily, we enjoy the greenery and the beautiful view of the road while crossing different surfaces. We then arrive quickly at Denton Road, which is now the shortest gap in the game, only having 0.14 miles. Departing Denton Road, we cross another road before merging back onto the main line. Here, you can raise a pantograph as indicated by the sign, and shortly after, we arrive at Greenslade. Leaving Greenslade, the track merges before splitting again. The left side leads to the tram line, which is where we are headed, eventually arriving at Robinson Way. After Robinson Way, we get to enjoy scenic views while running on the road, passing houses on both sides, before finally terminating at Whitney Green. Here we're driving from Elsemere Junction to Hampton Hargate, covering the new scenery. As we depart from Elsemere Junction, the main line now curves instead of running straight, while the left track leading to the tunnel goes to Barton. We then arrive at Berrily, but this time we continue along the main line toward Morganstown. After departing Berrily, the line passes under the surface while curving, before arriving at East Berrily. Beyond East Berrily, we pass through new scenery, featuring freight and containers situated between the slow and fast tracks. We then pass Beechley Park before merging onto the fast line. After going under the bridge from Morganstown Docks, we arrive at Morganstown. Leaving Morganstown, the line passes several junctions, but we continue straight and finally arrive at Hampton Hargate. For this section, we're driving from Benton to Hampton Hargate using the Connect track. After departing Benton, we head straight uphill toward the Benton Bridge structure, which looks amazing. After passing the structure, we arrive at Benton Bridge station. Departing Benton Bridge, we pass over the new Stoke Milton carriage siding via the overpass. The line then curves right with bushes on both sides before turning left, joining other tracks and arriving at Hampton Hargate. Similar to the previous route, we're again driving from Benton to Hampton Hargate, but this time using the express track. After departing Benton, we turn right and enjoy another view of the Benton Bridge structure. Then run alongside the Benton Bridge station. We then go downhill, pass under the airling track and rejoin the other tracks before arriving at Hampton Hargate. This section runs from Benton Bridge to Airport Parkway. After departing Benton Bridge, it's a simple left turn with new scenery along the way before arriving at Airport Parkway. On the return journey, we head back toward Benton Bridge, passing under the Connect overpass while turning right before arriving back at Benton Bridge. Now we're heading from Benton to Greenslade using Waterline. After departing Benton, we head slightly downhill and pass under the Benton Bridge structure, which resulted in the removal of the Benton crossover, helping prevent Benton blockers. We then arrive at Port Benton, where nothing has changed. After Port Benton, however, we get a new junction and scenery at Morganstown Docks. From this point to Greenslade, the line is now elevated. We then arrive at Whitney Green for Waterline. After departing, we get to enjoy the scenery from above before the tram line merges into our track, shortly before arriving at Greenslade. For this section, we're starting at Morganstown Docks and heading toward Morganstown. After departing, we take the left route, which now features a really nice flyover instead of the old spaghetti bridge. Shortly after, we arrive at Morganstown. Now we're heading back to Morganstown Docks using the same flyover. Keep in mind that the flyover is unelectrified, so you will have to use either diesel or battery before using electric again. For this time lapse, we're driving from Airport Parkway to Hampton Hargate. After departing, we go straight and pass through the Stoke Milton depot. The line then curves left and we soon arrive at Hampton Hargate. Now we're heading back to Airport Parkway, which uses a different approach. After departing Hampton Hargate, we turn left onto an uphill flyover, crossing junctions below us. We then head downhill, past the same depot as before, and finally arrive back at Airport Parkway. For this final time lapse, we're driving from Morganstown to Airport Parkway. After departing, we take a simple left turn, pass under the overpass from Hampton Hargate, go past the same depot and arrive at Airport Parkway. Now we're heading back toward Morganstown, which also uses a different approach. After departing Airport Parkway, we turn left instead of going straight, head downhill, and pass the same depot again. We then enter the tunnel, where we pass unique junctions above us while turning right, and shortly after, we arrive back at Morganstown. Here are additional features, upgrades, and changes in this update. With the addition of the new tram lines, we also have new tram signs. This includes tram signals, indicators, as well as tram speed indicators and tram car markers. A new SPAD alert alarm will play if you pass a signal at danger.
SPAD alert.
Specific car markers have been added at various stations, as well as Class 398 specific car markers, which was shown earlier. Stepford Express has received a new announcer.
Welcome aboard the Stepford Express service to Lynn by the Sea. The next station will be St Helens Bridge.
At Waternewton, platforms 1 and 2 have been extended, while off indicators have been added to platforms 3 and 4. Float sounds have been upgraded to support the new power stage system. The default menu music has been set back to a nice summer to replace Hang Up, which was removed by Roblox. Due to the introduction of power stages, third rail powered trains such as the Class 458 and Class 344 have been removed. If you owned either or both of these trains, the points spent have been refunded. You can check this by running My Transactions. Maps have been updated for all operators, with separate versions available for each one. This includes maps for the whole network, Connect, Express, Airlink, Airlink Shuttle, Autoline, and Metro. Operation guides for driving, dispatching, and guarding have been updated in-game. Signaling guides have also been updated but are currently available only in the community server. I have added links to all guides in the description. Speaking of guides, the driving guide has added a frequently asked questions section near the end to accommodate the removal of Q&A during trainings due to Roblox chat restrictions. This is really helpful for trainee drivers, as it allows them to get answers to common questions. If you haven't already, make sure to read it. Hopefully, the dispatching and guarding guides will also get their own Q&A sections in the future. For everything else, the full version 2.3 changelog is linked in the description as well, including new features, upgrades, and bug fixes. And that wraps up our full overview and review of SCR version 2.3. This update is honestly one of the biggest and most ambitious updates the game has ever received. If you enjoyed this video or found this helpful, feel free to leave a like, subscribe for more SCR content, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.